Alright guys, so first exercise we've got our bench press with dumbbells. Obviously if you want to you can use a barbell. I just like to use dumbbells because I'm isolating both arms, both getting the same amount of weight. Sometimes if you use a barbell, one is getting more weight than the other, just one arm is stronger. So I like to use dumbbells myself. So when you're doing this exercise, just make sure that you're bringing either the barbell or the dumbbells right down to your chest. You want to make sure you're getting that full stretch, and then you bring it all the way up until you really feel like a pinch where your sternum is, right where the pectoral muscles kind of meet. You really want to make sure you're getting that full range of motion for that exercise. Next, again, it's a chest press, but we're doing it on the machine. I like to use the machine sometimes just because it's kind of convenient, kind of puts the form for you. So it's easy, especially if you're first starting out to exercise. It kind of helps you to figure out what form, and it even gives you the instructions on how to do it, which is good. So for this one, again, you just want to bring it all the way back, and give it a nice stretch, and then all the way out so that you're really pushing your muscles to full range. And again, be aware of the movements that you're doing. Make sure that you're going slow on the way back and quick concentric movements, slow eccentric movements, which is the purpose of this series. And so for this exercise, we have cable flies. For this one, you can put the cables, you can put them higher, lower, or in the middle. It's up to you. I like to put them kind of in the middle or a bit higher, and I like to lean in a bit on the weight. And you just want to bring your arms back as far as you can, get that good stretch in the pectoral muscle. Then you're going to bring your hands all the way in, kind of in the same height as your pectoral muscles, so that you're making sure that you are working those muscles. Try and isolate them as much as you can. And also when you're doing this exercise, try your best not to bend your arms too much, so that you're focusing just on your pectoral muscles. And when you start bending your arms, then you're going to start using your biceps and you're going to tire out. So you just want to make sure that you are isolating as much as possible. So here we've got another cable fly, except we're doing it arm by arm. I did put the cable a little bit higher than the previous exercise, just to try and hit a bit of a different site on the muscle. Just work it a bit different, give it a bit of a shock. So this one I did use a rope, the rope attachment for the cable. However, you can do it without an attachment if you want, or just the handle is fine too. It does the same thing. For this one, extend your arm fully, and you're going to bring it in. Really want to bring it in as much as you can, kind of cross your arm over your body so that you're really shortening that pectoral muscle as much as possible and get the most out of the exercise. Next up, guys, shoulders. One of my favorite things to work out, and these are some of my favorite exercises. So this one, we have the front raise. Really works your front delts. So you've got your front, your middle, and your rear. You're going to work them all out in here. So here I'm doing a front raise seated. You can also do it standing. I just find seated you're better able to kind of isolate. Because a lot of times when you're standing, you're using your back and you're using other muscles to try and compensate for the weight. So sitting, you're really I feel like you're getting a much better pump out of that. Here I'm doing a supinated grip. You can also do pronated. Up to you. You can also do a hammer type front raise where the dumbbell is vertical instead of horizontal. It's up to you. Another front delt exercise. We've got a plate raise. So here I'm using a 45-pound plate. It's a bit heavy. Should have probably done 25 because the form is a bit lacking at the end, but it's a really good exercise to work out your front delts. since you're using both arms to carry the weight, sometimes you can do a bit heavier instead of the dumbbells where it's just one for each arm. So sometimes you can't really do heavy weight, especially if you're just starting out. Then we've got the side raises, which is an awesome exercise for the side delts. I really like this exercise. Really paying attention to the eccentric movements here. Bring it all the way up, parallel to the ground, and back down nice and slow. Next up, we've got our rear delts. So this is the last kind of compartment of the shoulder. For this exercise, you really want to make sure that you are really getting connection, mind-body, mind-muscle. When you're bringing your arms back with the weight, really try and kind of touch your scapula together. Really get that good contraction. You can really feel this exercise when you're doing it. That's why I like it a lot. I love doing this exercise. And always remember when you're doing these exercises, the focus is the eccentric contraction, which is going back to the original position. So you want to make sure that you're going nice and slow. Really get your tears in the muscle, work the muscle, tire them out. The last shoulder exercise is the shoulder press, which is one of my favorites. Again, I'm using a low weight here. Just want to make sure you guys are getting the proper form. I'm not going to be pushing a bunch of crazy weights. So here, just make sure you're being careful when you're bringing up the weights. If you're bringing up weights that are too heavy, you might drop them on yourself or really hurt your wrist or something, so just be careful with that. When you're doing the exercise, bring the dumbbells up right. You can just touch them, so you're going full range. And when you're bringing them back down, again, remember, stay conscious of the eccentric movements. You want to go nice and slow. Usually I say 90-degree angle, parallel with the floor for your triceps, but if you want to dip a bit lower than that, that's cool. The more, the better. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the chest and shoulder workout.